They just keep getting better and better. How do you guys do this?
I don't know. I have to say, it seems so unusual that a film franchise, the films get better as they go along. It's usually like they get worse, but we seem to be going that way, so I'm happy. And I feel like this is significantly better. Like, it's not just kind of like, I feel like the other one's kind of like gradually, whereas the last two I feel like are just on a totally different plane. They're just
but also, you know, you guys are giving it your all. You know it's coming to an end, and the material is just so rich and amazing.
Yeah.
You're out of your element. You're not in Hogwarts, so there's so much to work with. Did you find that, you know, it was just a huge challenge doing these and shooting them both at the same time?
Yeah, and it was a huge challenge. Doing even just one Harry Potter film is exhausting, let me tell you. Doing two back to back, by the end of it we were all on our knees, you know, we were really struggling. But I feel like in a way they have so much energy and momentum because we did them both at once and it was all mad and we were shooting from one movie and then going to the part two and it was all just kind of crazy. But somehow it seems to have come out really well, so we were obviously doing something right.
Oh yeah, I'd say. And of course, you know, that scene, the forest scene, when you guys are racing, you know, Daniel says he's the fastest. I don't know, you look like you were going pretty fast there.
I was going pretty fast. I've never run that fast in my life. We were just really going for it, and Dan and I are pretty competitive, so we turned it into a bit of a race. But it was hard because we all got started off on different marks. We could never really tell who was running the fastest, but I think it was me.
But we won't tell him that. Okay. I have to tell you, you know, I don't even know how on earth you even begin to look back at these 10 years and the experience that you've had in your life. How do you even begin to put that into words?
It's very strange trying to answer questions about it because a lot of the time I don't have answers. People are like, you know, what is your life going to look like when this is over? And I'm like, I have no idea. You know, this has been all I've ever known. This is how I grew up. I can barely remember my life before Harry Potter. So I've got a lot to figure out. It's been huge. It's been huge.
Yeah, and just an amazing, the people that you've met, the friends that you've made.
The places I've traveled, the experiences I've had, it's been amazing. Yeah. I'm so thankful that I've had such a unique life and such a unique chance and experience, and it's been absolutely amazing.
There's so many wonderful scenes in this film, and I could talk forever, but one that really stood out for me and touched me so deeply was the dancing scene between you and Daniel in that tent. I don't know, for me, it just, your friendship, or it was on your faces, like your real life, R-E-A-L, was going into your R-E-E-L life. Did you find that, especially with the three of you and how close you've become, that this was really a friendship bond more than anything?
It's funny, David really wanted us to use that. He was like, come on, you guys have grown up together. You are like brother and sister. Like, bring that to the roles, bring that to your work. And we did. And I think thank you, as you said, I think you can see that. It's funny, when we shot that scene, the crew are very divided about it. Some of the crew were like, what is, you know, they didn't really get it, they weren't really sure if it was going to work, and then other members of the crew loved it. But generally, the response we've had to that scene, because obviously it was just written for the movie, it's not in the book. The audience members seem to love it, and I think it's important to have that moment of, you know, just a break from the intensity and the stress and the worry and everything. They just need to have a moment where they can just be kids and just be silly and stupid and just have a nice time together.
Especially for you too, like, how do you, you know, put your real life aside and just, especially growing up since you were 10 doing this, and when did you have a chance to be a kid and be silly, and, you know, do you have those opportunities?
I mean, yes, and I'm very lucky that I made these movies with Dan and Rupert. You know, I had two friends at my side, and, you know, we had some laughs. We laughed a lot, and I'm grateful for that. But yeah, I mean, I can relate to that feeling, definitely.
I can't imagine what the last day of shooting was like. Can you take me back?
It was, part of me was really, the boys, I think, right up until the last moment were more like in denial about it. They didn't really want to like face up to it, but I was really trying to like get myself to process that it was over. it was like a really hard thing to do because we're so used to having these breaks and then coming back, and you know, it'd be very easy for me to tell myself, oh, it's not really over. But I really wanted to feel completed. I wanted to be upset because I wanted to feel like I could move on, you know?
And move on, you did. You cut your hair. Was that like the day after you finished shooting?
No, that would have been too much. That would have been overload. I think I took like 3 weeks or something, and then I cut it off.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it looks fantastic.
Thank
wow.
you very much.
So how's school? How's that going? You know, I just have a son that started university this year too. And
yeah.
It's a big challenge, I would think, huh?
It is. It was a big. There were times when I was like, oh my goodness, because I was going to university, living in a foreign country, still juggling doing Harry Potter at the same time. And there were times where I was just like, oh, this is just too much. This is really hard. But I'm so grateful that I stayed and that I went in the first place because, you know, sophomore year, I'm having such a great time. I have such a great group of friends. And it was so the right thing to do, and it was worth every effort.
Well, I'm sure you're doing fantastic. Well, just on a personal note, I just want to say that, you know, you've done a fantastic job in this, but it's just been an honor and a pleasure for me to know you since you were this big. Aww. And you've just grown into such a lovely young woman.
Thank you.
I know you're just going to be fantastic for years to come. So thank you for giving me a pleasure to know you.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's
so
so
welcome.
nice.
I'm going to start to cry.
And
okay.